You remember Adam Kokesh? He was planning to lead an armed, I'm not going to say assault, although that's what it sounded like, a protest on D.C. to protest the policies of the government, try to overthrow it and all that. And steadily over the weeks leading up to today, he's been like pulling back, saying, oh no violence whatsoever unless they cause it, moving back and back from how threatening it was in the beginning. Now we find out he was on Pete Santilli's radio show. That whole protest, maybe not so much. Let's listen.
What are your ideas for the July 4th event? What are you recommending that everybody do versus going to Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, please don't come to Washington, D.C. This is now an appeal at the state level, and I think it's much more appropriate given the gravity of the situation. We shouldn't be begging the federal government to change. We shouldn't be hoping that they respect our rights, because it's clear that they don't. I can't even, as the organizer of this event, be able to say that I'm going to be there. Means that we can't have this depend on any one person or even any central event. People can do whatever they want, wherever they feel is appropriate in their home state. But if some people just want to do a rally and have speakers, some people want to do an armed march, if they want to make it about open carrying and putting the government on notice that way, it would certainly be appropriate, and we would encourage that. Done within the realm of what is safe. Although, if anything, if you're going to go to a protest, carrying guns makes you more safe, because the government messes with people that aren't armed.
Okay, that was awesome. Look, Adam Kokesh is someone I actually have defended in the past. He was one of the guys who got arrested for dancing at the Jefferson Memorial. So, he's a libertarian, so we agree with him on some issues.
He's arrested at a pot rally recently.
That's right,
Yeah.
So bless his heart on that. He's insane on this issue.
Yeah.
Insane, right? He was going to, it's against the D.C. laws to do that kind of armed march. But what's now the backpedal is one of the funniest backpedals I have ever seen.
Yeah.
He's like, you know how I was telling you to come to D.C. with all your guns and stuff? Ixnay on the march A with the guns A.
Well, like, is the
I'm not necessarily going to be there.
That was my favorite part. I mean, he's like, you can show up. I mean, even though I'm the organizer of this event, it's not really about one person. I don't really have to be there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so good luck.
I have tickets to Fast and Furious 6. I can't pull out now.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And then, no, I'm making this bigger, man. I'm big. Yeah, don't show up. I'm not going to show up. But you should go to your state capitals, and good luck to you, buddy, okay? Yeah, it's much bigger.
Hey, JR, can you guys play just the very beginning of that, the question, and then the first part of the answer? Because that's really, that's the best part. That's just, and then.
What are your ideas for the July 4th event? What are you recommending that everybody do versus going to Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, please don't come to Washington, D.C. This is
They got this big march in Washington, D.C. What do you do? What do people do relevant to your march in Washington, D.C.? Yeah, don't come to Washington.
Yeah,
whatever you do.
Yeah, that turns out to be a really bad idea. And I hate this government and stuff, but it turns out they might arrest me. And I really don't want to get spending a lot of time in prison is not something I'm interested in. And I've got all those guns. The flip side is that it turns out they have more guns.
And tanks and stuff.
Right, and so it turns out if we cross a bridge, like I was saying in the beginning, he was like, I know we're going to come from Virginia, we're going to cross the bridge. And then he's like, and then it turns out that's the part where I might get shot.
Because the government messes with people, they mess with you, and they really go after the people who don't have guns.
Yeah.
Concluded his final point there. I don't understand which crazy conspiracy point to buy into. Like, Ruby Ridge and Waco, like they had super guns. And they went after those guys.
Yeah.
Right or wrong? Wrong, in fact, probably. But they had guns. Those guys were armed to the teeth. So which is the government does? They go after the people without guns, or they go after the people with guns? Are they coming for your guns, or are they coming after the people without guns?
Yeah.
It seems unclear.
Yeah, it's a little
I'm not sure they've thought this through.
You're trying to reason with the guy with the black muscle tank top on.
Yeah. And by the way, he's talking to Pete Santilli.
Pete Santilli, right, the worst guy on the planet.
Oh, my God.
Who threatened to shoot Hillary Clinton in the vagina recently, and the Secret Service investigated him. So we've got two class acts here, okay? But the reality is, in the end, both of them are going to do absolutely nothing. Because somebody talked to Kokesh and let him know, you might actually be in trouble. There's a lot of bravado when you're not going to get in serious trouble. Once you realize you are going to get in serious trouble, all of a sudden the bravado is like, well, you need me at the march?
Yeah, well,
I don't think you need me at the march. I think you need to go get shot at the march.
Well, because the D.C. Police Chief, Kathleen Lanier, said, yeah, if people bring weapons in here illegally, we'll arrest them.
Yeah.
Like that was it. That's all it took, apparently.
Yeah, and it's look, he's gotten arrested before. That's not the issue, is my guess. One, how long are you going to be in jail? I mean, this isn't patty cakes over the weekend. And number two, if everybody's got guns and they're going to, do a rebellion against the government, I mean, they're talking about open rebellion, armed rebellion.
Yeah.
I mean, he's saying the democracy doesn't work anymore, and then the very important next step, and hence we need an armed rebellion.
Yeah.
Well, then, you're going to have a shootout at some point, and it's going to be
Awful.
an epic disaster.